Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to AJ's YouTube. Happy Monday, or whatever day you're watching this, but Mondays are when I like to do deck profiles. I am running out of decks, so this will not be lasting for many more weeks, just a couple. But today is PK Shadolls, Phantom Knight Shadolls. So, Shadoll, Hedgehog, got a couple one-ofs. Hedgehog, flip. You can add one Shadoll spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, or if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can add one Shadoll monster from your deck to your hand, except this one. So the kind of format is, Phantom Knight stuff likes to be in the graveyard because it has effects that it can use there by banishing itself. Shadoll stuff likes to be either sent to the graveyard or likes to be set face down on the field and then flipped. So, and the effects of these will allow you to send cards out there face down defense. So, Hedgehog is spell or trap if it's flipped, or you can get a monster to your hand if you send this from the card effect, send it to the graveyard. Beast allows you to flip, draw 2 cards, then discard 1, or if it's sent to the graveyard, you can just draw 1 card. Falco, we got 2 Falcos. Falco lets you target a Shadoll monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and face down defense. Or, if it's just sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it and face down defense. So, you use an effect, send this to the graveyard, it instantly just comes right out, gets flipped down. You eventually flip this bad boy up, and then he'll bring another card out of the graveyard. So Falco, he's pretty good. Then we have ourselves one Dragon. You can target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So if he flips, you return. Otherwise, you send it to the graveyard, and you can target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. So it's removal for some spells or traps that you need to get rid of. He's the man to send to the graveyard. Then we got 3 Squamata. Squamata is kind of weird. It's just it's all you do is you send Squamata to the graveyard, and it sends another Shadoll card to the graveyard. So it's basically just being put there as an extra body in the graveyard. And if it gets flipped, you can target a monster in the field and destroy it. So you run 3 of, because anytime you can, you just, I got to send a card, send Squamata, Squamata sends the next card. Next time you can send a card, you send Squamata, Squamata sends the next card. It's just putting bodies in the graveyard. That's all it is. Alright, now for the last 3, which we run 2 of Wendy, 1 Kios, and Ariel. So, you can target 1 Shadoll monster from your hand in face up, or you can special summon a Shadoll monster from your hand in face up or face down defense position. Also, if you send this card to the graveyard, you can send 1 Shadoll monster from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do for the rest of the turn, all monsters you control gain attack and defense equal to the original level of that monster sent to the graveyard times 100. Ariel, you can flip her, target one of your banished Shadoll monsters, and special summon it in face up or face down defense. And if you send her to the graveyard, you can target up to 3 cards in either graveyard and banish them. And then 2 Wendy's. Wendy, if this gets flipped, you can special summon a Shadoll monster straight from your deck and face up or face down defense. And then if you send her to the graveyard, you can special summon a Shadoll monster from your deck in face down defense position. So, pretty damn powerful card for her. Most people run 3 of each of these. 3 Shadoll Fusion, 3 L Shadoll Fusion. I don't see a need for it. I can get these cards out pretty damn quick just by searching them. I don't have a problem like that, so I let other stuff take up their spots. This one, Shadoll Fusion, you can fusion summon 1 Shadoll monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. But if your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can use monsters out of your deck as fusion material. So if they went first, that means you pull out Shaddoll Fusion and bam, you're off to the races. You're just going to use monsters right out of your deck. And then by sending these monsters for fusion, you're getting their effects. So that's huge. El Shaddoll Fusion, basically you're just fusion summoning from the extra deck, use monsters whether in your hand or field. And this is a quick effect one, so you can actually use this on your opponent's turn. Alright, Shaddoll Core. You can special summon this card as an effect monster. Also, you can use it as a substitute for one fusion material that lists an attribute on a Shaddoll Fusion monster card. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one Shaddoll spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. We run Rush Shaddoll Incarnation. Target a Shaddoll monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and face up or face down defense. You can banish this card and one Shaddoll card from your graveyard and then activate one of these effects. Change one face down monster you control to face up, or change one face up to face down. 2 Necro Fusions. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from the graveyard face down, but it cannot attack this turn. It's a trap card though, why would it attack? You're just going to banish stuff out of your graveyard to pull out a monster. It's pretty damn nice. Probably should be running 3 of those, but I don't have the room for it right now. That's pretty much all you're going to see of the Shaddoll stuff until we hit the extra deck. But there are a lot of one-of stuff in here that help both the Shaddoll and the PKs. So, out of the Phantom Knights, it's not a big engine. You see 4 cards here for the, well, besides their magic and trap, but it's not a huge engine. You're going to be using the Shadolls to just basically send these guys off if you can. Or not, you're not going to use the Shadolls to send these off because Shadolls send Shadolls, but you got cards that you can just off these into the graveyard, which is basically what you're going to do. There's plenty of easy ways to get these cards out. So you don't want to see them in your hand, you just want to send them from the deck straight to the graveyard. Alright, so this one, if this card is in attack position, you can target one dark monster on the field, change this card to defense, and if you do, that monster gains 800 attack and defense until the end of your opponent's turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one Phantom Knights card from your deck to your hand, except this card. And we got Ragged Gloves. Dark XE monster that was summoned using this card on the field as XE material gains this effect. It gains 1000 attack. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Send one Phantom Knights card from your deck to the graveyard. We got 2 Silent Boots. If you control the Phantom Knights monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Phantom Knights of Silent Boots once this way per turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one Phantom Knights spell / trap from your deck to your hand. We got 2 of them. We have 2 Phantom Knight rank ups. Quick effects. During the main phase, target one Dark XE monster you control with no material. Special summon from your deck one Dark XE monster that is 1 rank higher than that monster you control by using it as XE material. And if you do, attach this card to it as additional material. So you basically, if you got somebody out there that's a 3, it's going up to a 4, and you're going to use the 3 and this card to be materials. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Dark XE monster you control. Attach one Phantom Knights monster from your hand to that monster as material. So just more ways of getting those Phantom Knights into the grave. 2 Phantom Knight traps. Fog Blade, everybody's favorite. Activate this card by targeting one effect monster on the field. Negate that face-up monster's effects. That face-up monster cannot attack. Also, monsters cannot target that face-up monster for attacks. When it leaves the field, destroy this card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Phantom Knight's monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. And finally, the last Phantom Knighter until we hit the extra deck. Special summon this card in attack position as a normal monster. During your turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up trap your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of this turn. Now, for our one-ofs, we've got a nice little stack of one-ofs kind of to help the situation of these cards. Armageddon Knight, you can, when it's summoned, you can send one dark monster from your deck to the grave. Seems pretty useful, I imagine. No, I don't imagine, I use it. It is useful. When this card is normal summoned, you can send one level 4 or lower monster from your deck to your graveyard. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card. Well, there we go. We get to send the card, and when it gets destroyed, you get to draw a card. So why not play 3 of them? Because come on, that's a good thing. Card Trooper times 2. This bad boy, once per turn, you can choose a number from 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 3. Then send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Milling cards into the graveyard in a deck that likes monsters in the graveyard? Seems like a good idea. This card gains 500 attack for each card you send to the graveyard this way. Till the end of this turn. If this card you control is destroyed and sent to your graveyard, draw one card. A lot of draw power, a lot of milling power. We have Time Reviver Emitter, which if you read that this way and this way, it's spelled exactly the same. See? Time Reviver Emitter. Weird, huh? Alright. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one face-up monster on each field. Change them to face-down defense position. And if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, you get to put one of their cards down, one of your cards down, which is a good thing. And she gets special summoned out, so you got a body on the field. We have Cage Muka Knight. When you normal summon a level 3 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Cannot be used as synchro material. We've got 2 Black Luster Soldier. Envoy of the Beginning. I mean, come on now. It's a good beat stick. And it's just good in general. It's very easy to get out. It's a good card. It definitely fits in with this deck. A Foolish Burial and 2 Hand Destructions. Each player sends 2 cards from their hand to the graveyard, then draws 2 more. Milling and drawing again. And that's a quick effect card. So use it on your turn, use it on their turn, don't matter. So that will be all the extra stuff that's not really for one of them, but it works in sync with all of them. Now, for the extra deck, we've got ourselves quite a lineup here. 2 constructs. Construct. 1 Shadowll monster plus 1 light monster. Must first be fusion summoned. If this card is special summoned, you can send 1 Shadowll card from your deck to the graveyard. Sounds like a good idea. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a special summoned monster, destroy that monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Shadowll spell or trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So, 2 of her. She's pretty damn good. Then we got ourselves a Shadowll Shekinaga. A Shadowll monster plus 1 Earth monster. This card is when a special summon monster activates its effect while you have a Shadowll card in your hand. Quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy that monster. Then send 1 Shadowll card from your hand to the graveyard. Pretty damn cool. El Shadowll App Clone. 2 Shadowll monsters with different attributes. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. And if this card is special summoned, you can target 1 face-up card on the field, negate its effects, If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Shaddoll card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then discard one card. So if you add something from your deck to your hand, you could just discard it right away. And then you get, right into the graveyard. Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, choose a number from 1 to 3, then send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. More milling. This card will gain 500 attack till the end of the turn for each card you sent. If this card attacks, it is changed to the defense position at the end of the battle phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Burning Abyss card in your graveyard except this card added to your hand. We don't have any Burning Abyss cards, but he helps for the milling and just in general, he's not bad for attacking 2 at 25. Shaddoll Construct, this basically just helps you fusion summon. If you link this out, you can fusion summon with Shaddoll stuff. Let's see. 2 or more level 4 warrior monsters. Once per turn during your end phase, detach material from this card. This card gains effects based on the number of materials it still has attached to it. So if it's got more than 1, it can't be destroyed by battle. If it's got more than 2, it gains 1500 attack and defense. If it has more than 3, it's unaffected by other cards' effects. If it has 4, your opponent cannot normal or special summon monsters, and if it has 5, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. So if you just go crazy and get 5, level 4 warrior monsters on the field and bring this guy out, you can instantly destroy all cards that they have. You're unaffected, your opponent can't normal or special summon, it gains a bunch of attack, and it can't be destroyed. It gets all of these effects. So holy crap. We got a Winda. Each player can only special summon monsters once per turn while this card's face up on the field. El Shaddoll Grista. This card, you can, if you have a Shaddoll card in your hand, you can negate the summon, and if they try to special summon, you can negate it and destroy the monster, and then you gotta send your Shaddoll card to the graveyard. Cross Sheep, whenever you fusion summon, which is most likely going to be that, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard. If you XC summon all monsters your opponent controls, lose 700. So that's kind of what you're going to be using this for. Starving Venom, that was a super poly target because I had super poly in here. Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. This card came off the ban list in this most recent one. You just need 2 or more dark monsters. So during your main phase, you can send 1 Phantom Knights monster from your deck to your graveyard, then set 1 Phantom Knight spell or trap directly from your deck to a spell or trap zone. If a dark XC monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to while this monster is on the field, you can target 1 card in the field, destroy it. You can only use each effect of this once per turn. So that's pretty huge. Dark Requiem, you're going to bring this guy out for this one. So I know there was those rank up cards in there. So if you rank up, they're all darks. So you can go here, here, and then here. But this will be the last one. If you use Dark Rebellion XC Dragon as material, it gains these effects. So as long as you use this as material to make this card, once per turn you can detach material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Change its attack to 0, and if you do this card's attack, it gains attack equal to that monster's original attack. So you're just stealing the attack, and then you attack into it, and it already has 0 attack. So you're really gonna, hurt them a lot. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can detach a material from this card and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Then you can special summon 1 XC monster from your graveyard. That's huge. Dark Rebellion. You can detach 2 materials from this card, and then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes half its current attack, and if it does, this card gains it, but you're most likely going to use this one instead. Now, our last Phantom Knight card. of Break Sword, 2 level 3 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 card you control and 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them. If this XC summoned card is destroyed, you can target 2 Phantom Knight cards with the same level in your graveyard and special summon them and increase their levels by 1. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the tournament except dark monsters. So this guy gets destroyed. You're going to go in, you're going to grab 2 level 3s, bring them out. They're both going to become level 4s. You're going to go into this, and then you're going to go into this. Like, it just keeps getting you to this card, basically. That's the main deck. It's the extra deck. As far as side decking goes, I like 2 Nocto Vision Dragon. Probably 3 actually, just side them out. Phantom Sky Blaster. I have the Shaddoll Pendulum core in here in case I want to use it. I have yet to play test it, so I don't know how good it is, but it's here in case I'd like to play test it one day. Got a Reinforcements, a Retta, Curse of the Shadow Prison, and 1 Electromagnetic Turtle. If this card, during your opponent's battle phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard as a quick effect, and it ends the battle phase. You can only do it once per duel. So if you end up putting this in your deck and you send it to the graveyard and your opponent gets ready to battle you, you just bounce this guy into banishment and they're over with. Their battle phase is done. You can only do it once per duel, so it only makes sense to put 1 of them in your deck. But that is PK Shadolls. I mean, it's fun. You have a lot of avenues you can go through, a lot of different directions you can take. I'm not gonna lie, I mean, when you play this deck, there's no one right way to play it. You can head in any direction you want. I mean, if they start ashing you and effect veiling and all that stuff, you just take a turn, go a whole different direction. So with that, that is today's deck profile. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, start your day, go be somebody. I end my turn.